5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Surely you've heard the saying, as free as a bird. Well, my question to you is, if you had the freedom to do whatever you wanted in life, what would you do? It could be that you want to spend more time with your friends or family. Maybe you have kids or pets and you want to be able to give them more of your care and attention. Or you'd spend time pursuing hobbies like yoga, photography, or hiking. Maybe even join something like a nonprofit to give back to the world. Heck, you may just want to go on a vacation and see different parts of the world like the Maldives or Bali. And while everyone's answer will be different, one thing is for certain. If you had total freedom in your life, you certainly wouldn't want to be working a job for hours every single day, watching your life pass by while you help someone else get rich and build their vision for them. If you're looking for a way to break away from trading your time for money with a 9-to-5 job, and instead live a life where you have total freedom to do whatever you want every single day, you're in the right place. By the time you finish this video, you're going to know exactly what you need to do if you want to be able to create real freedom in your life by starting your own business. And in a few weeks from now, when you're starting to see the vision that you have for total freedom taking shape, and suddenly the possibility of being able to quit your job seems so within reach, you'll realize that it came from your decision to stay and watch this video. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to reveal to you a simple 3-step method to starting an online boutique, which is going to be your ticket to freedom. And I know that might sound hard to believe. I thought so too, until it happened to me. This proven strategy literally got my online boutique to $24,000 a day in sales. And look, I know there's a lot of people online who lie all the time with their rented out Lamborghinis or Airbnb mansions, and just so you know, I'm not one of those people, and I'm not making this up. Let me show you some solid proof. Here's a screenshot of my store dashboard when I had my $24,000 day. Needless to say, I was so excited. I never thought in a million years that just a normal girl from Swampscott, Massachusetts could make that kind of money in a single day. And listen, I'm not going to try and act like everyone can get results like that straight out the gate. I've been doing this for a while and I have a lot of experience running online boutiques, but I wanted to show you what's possible if you really go all in on what I'm about to show you today. It doesn't matter if you have zero experience. This strategy works for everyone and I have proof to back it up. And here's the best part. Take a look at Jen. Before she started using the method I'm about to show you, she was delivering food for people using Instacart. Now she's able to make over $10,000 per month with her online boutique, all on autopilot. And here's Sarah. She was tired of having to go through the 9-to-5 grind every day, so she went all in on this proven strategy. And just recently, she let us know that she was able to make $12,000 in just a single day. How crazy is that? We have dozens of other examples like Jenna, Kat, Liv, Morgan, Christina, Sophie, Brooke, Paige, Maddie, Hillary. The list goes on and on. All of these women who are getting these results are using the same simple 3-step process, which I'm going to share with you today. And they're doing this from the comfort of their own homes without any previous experience, special skills, or fancy certifications. So listen, if you want to see similar results to them, then I need you to stick around to the end of this video, because the only way you're going to fully understand what I'm going to be talking about today is by watching this from start to finish. Before we dive in, let me introduce myself so you know who's talking to you. My name is Courtney Fletcher, and it wasn't too long ago that I had a very harsh and sudden realization. I was working a job at a local Porsche dealership, and I remember one day while eating lunch, looking at my old friends on Instagram who were traveling the world with their boyfriends. Seeing all of my friends living their best life really hit me like a ton of bricks. I was going to school for a better degree, putting myself under a pile of debt, and working a full-time job which was hardly making me any money. And while the degree I was going after would land me a pretty decent job making around $70,000 a year, I would still have to work 50 hours a week doing something I wasn't even passionate about until I was around 40 years old, just to be able to pay everything off and then work another 25 years so I could retire and enjoy life at 65. And that realization scared the crap out of me. I wanted to travel the world, have fun and live my life, and not be trapped in some cubicle until I was too old to actually enjoy it. I wanted to be my own boss, but I just didn't know how to make that happen. And I can't tell you how many women I've told this to who can't believe how similar their story is to mine. So if you're in a similar situation, trust me, I understand how it feels. I remember one day seeing someone no older than me come into the Porsche dealership and pay cash for a brand new Porsche. It was $214,000. I couldn't even fathom how someone just had that much cash laying around to be able to pay for something that expensive. And the craziest part was she told me she didn't even go to college. She just owned her own business. And that was enough incentive for me to realize that if I wanted true freedom, like go drop 200 grand on a Porsche kind of freedom, then I needed to really make some changes and start figuring out how I could set myself up like that. And it seriously all started with me searching on Google how to make money online. And this rabbit hole ended up changing my life because I saw a lot of people succeeding selling simple products online. And I seriously had no idea this was a thing people could do. Here's the thing. Right now, we're living in the age of online entrepreneurship and it's creating more millionaires than ever before. And when I realized this, I went all in. I started my first online store and long story short, it failed. After I realized it wasn't working, I went to the drawing board and focused on getting good by acquiring the skills I needed. And I went from $0 in sales to $312 per day to $1,200 per week and eventually hitting $24,000 in sales in a single day. But like I mentioned before, this exponential growth didn't just happen overnight. It took a lot of late nights and early mornings to figure out the method that I'm going to be sharing with you today. But it's seriously worth it. I was able to do all of the things that I dreamt of doing while I was working at the Porsche dealership. You can see here, this is a photo of me and my friends out to dinner for one of their birthdays. I got to fly us all out to Chicago to celebrate and surprise him. And here I am, I'm out in Los Angeles. One day I decided I just wanted to spend some time out west. So I packed up, grabbed an Airbnb out in Beverly Hills, and I flew out a few days later. And the best part is I get to travel with my dogs. I will tell you about them soon, but here's Susie enjoying a nice day out at the beach. And here we have Mason out in Sedona, Arizona. And they really just love to travel with me. It's the best. Life just becomes so much better when you have the freedom to do not just what you want, but when you want. I even recently got a place in Puerto Rico and it's so close to the beach. And let me tell you, these sunsets here are absolutely amazing. It is so fun here because my friends want to visit all the time. See, here's us enjoying a really nice dinner on the ocean. And along with getting a new house, I've been able to upgrade my lifestyle a bit too. I went from a dumpy Ford Taurus to a brand new Audi SQ5 fresh off the lot. Being able to live on a tropical island while driving a super nice car and still being within walking distance of the beach makes me feel like I'm living a dream. Life is just so much more fun now, and the best part of all of this is being able to give back to causes I care about. Since starting my own business, I've been able to adopt and foster senior and disabled dogs. Here's my little guy Mason. I was able to adopt him out of a shelter at the age of 10, and now I get to spoil him every single day, all day. And same with my little blind chihuahua Susie. At the age of 9, she was given up by her family, and she really needed someone to give her a good life. And this was perfect for me. Being able to work from home means I can give her the life that she truly deserves. And it's also allowed me to foster so many other dogs. Some of my recent fosters are Nina, Cooper, and Cora. Being able to spend some time fostering dogs was something I always wanted to do, but working a job made this impossible because they needed a lot of love and care. So having my own business has made this dream possible for me. And listen, whatever dream you have, when you start your own business, it frees up so much time and space for you to be able to focus on what you really want from life. I'm showing you all this not to show off, but to show you whatever kind of lifestyle you want, it's possible. Whether you want to spend more time at home and not have to commute to work every day, or you want to travel the world, I want to tell you that you can seriously make it all happen. Although I can buy all the material things I want now, that's not why I started. I started because I wanted to be free. I wanted to reach my full potential and wake up excited every single day. This entire transformation took place over the course of a year. Seriously, ladies, it doesn't have to take that long for your life to completely change. Catherine started late 2019 and she's earned over $100,000 in a single month. She just finished college and was working a regular 9-to-5 job like most of you watching now. It would have been really easy for her to just do the comfortable thing and keep working her 9-to-5 job like her parents, her family, and friends expected her to do. But she decided to try something new, go after what she truly wants, and I think it's safe to say that was a great decision. If you were in Catherine's shoes, would you take the leap and chase your dreams, or just continue always wondering what could have been? I mean, Liv, she started not that long ago, and just look at her numbers. Okay, let's get down to business and show you this method that I've been talking about, which has changed my life and all of the ladies who have used it. It's called connective e-commerce, and there's 3 steps to it. So let's dive right into step 1, which is to create a trustworthy store that looks like a big brand and convert strangers into customers. Think about it. When's the last time you bought something from a store that looked like this? Never, right? That's why it's so important to build your store properly. Now, in the past, you would have to hire a developer to custom code your store, but it's no longer like that. Now we use a super simple drag and drop platform called Shopify, which is seriously amazing because it does everything for you. If you can post on Instagram, you can build an entire store using Shopify. Now, once you have a Shopify store, you need to install a theme on it, and your theme is everything. The theme is kind of how a store looks in the mall when you go inside, how things are laid out, the flow the customers take. Basically, it optimizes your store to look good so it can sell things. People want to buy on a site that looks cute and where buying is simple. A good theme is more than just the looks. It builds trust, makes people want to buy more things, loads fast, and converts more customers, resulting in more profits for you. I'm telling you, a good theme is the difference between a store that makes money or makes none. So check this out. This is how a Shopify store looks before a theme is put on it, just a blank canvas. Then you download a theme that looks nice and upload it onto your store, and then the blank canvas turns into this. Shopify does all the heavy lifting for you, and with a few clicks, you have a trustworthy branded site that looks like it belongs to one of the biggest brands in the world. No coding needed or any technical stuff. It's really that simple. So now that you have a beautiful store, you need to fill it with products, which brings us to step 2, which is finding the products which are proven to sell and sourcing them without needing any inventory. The best way to choose what to sell is by picking a niche. When you focus on a niche, everything is so much easier because you'll have some sort of direction when starting your store. Specialists, they make more money than generalists in terms of doctors. The same thing applies to your store. I'll show you what I mean. Let's think about makeup. If someone wanted makeup, they would never want to buy it from a car parts store because who wants to buy makeup from a place that sells windshield wipers? You might want to buy makeup from a store that has a section set aside for makeup, kind of like Walmart does, but where do you really want to go and feel the most confident and excited about buying makeup? The makeup store. Sephora, Ulta, they know makeup. When you go into their store, you trust their products. You trust that they understand what they're selling. So if you're selling fashion dresses, you don't want to sell yoga pants too. If you're selling athletic wear, stick to athletic wear. Don't try to put everything in your store. Now, a good niche for you to start with is one that you're actually interested in because really, there's no wrong niche. Some examples are jewelry, clothing, swimwear, pet products if you love animals, socks, glasses, kitchen tools, baby products. One of my students even has a store selling hamster-themed items and she kills it. Having a niche also gives your store congruency. What I mean by this is if someone's interested in one product from your store, they'll most likely be interested in a lot of products from your store because they're related. You know when you find a website and kind of go on a shopping spree? That's because the store has congruency and it has a niche. Now, when it comes to managing inventory and selling your items, if you were to start an online store using any other method than my connective e-commerce method, you would have to contact hundreds of individual suppliers and buy a minimum amount of each item that you wanted to sell, which requires thousands of dollars and massive risk. On top of that, you have to store the inventory somewhere and pack and ship orders yourself. So if you wanted to open up a store with 20 items on it, well, you're looking at a $10,000 plus investment in inventory. And if the inventory doesn't sell, well, you're stuck with it. Why not cut out all the unnecessary expensive steps and deliver the package straight to the customer from the manufacturer without ever needing to pre-purchase, store, pack, and ship inventory? You can list hundreds or even thousands of items on your store without ever having to add to your overhead because you only pay for inventory after you've sold it, meaning there is no way you can lose money. Next, and this one might sound counterintuitive, but it's crucial to make sure that people are already selling the product. And I know what you're thinking, oh, well, it's going to be oversaturated, or I want to sell something that nobody is selling. But honestly, unless you have a ton of experience, you really don't know what will sell and what won't. So this is the easiest way to make sure people actually want to buy your product. And this was my secret hack. I try to sell products people are already buying or that I know have a proven demand, aka my competitors already spent the money testing the markets to see if people wanted to buy the products. Think about it. How can you go wrong selling products people already want to buy? It's kind of like dipping your bucket in a stream that's already flowing. Most people try to reinvent the wheel when they don't need to. So finding products and suppliers sounds hard, but it's really just like online shopping because we use websites which connect us directly to the manufacturers. This route is way more profitable than buying your products from a store like Amazon because you're buying directly from the manufacturer. You guys see the difference? They have products in any niche from all parts of the world: France, Australia, US, China, Canada, you name it. Some of you might be thinking, well, if my products are coming from France, Australia, or China, won't the shipping be slow? Honestly, yes. That is, unless you know how to do this the right way. This is where most people go wrong. They just use the first supplier they see or the cheapest supplier. If you're using a website like this and getting slow ship times, you're doing it all wrong. If you use my connected e-commerce system, trust me, the shipping times are not a problem. Now, let me give you an example of how this would work. Let's say you have a jewelry store. The first thing you need to do is find something like this ring for $2.48. The shipping here costs another $3.15, so the total price is $5.63. Then you simply list it on your website for $25. When someone buys the ring, you pay $5.63 to the supplier, and you keep the profit of $19.37. The best part is you don't pack any orders. An app will automatically send the customer shipping information directly from your site to the supplier. They will pack the order and ship it out directly to your customer and send you the bill for $5.63 for the ring set and the shipping. Then you rinse and repeat, do this over and over and over again until you've built a massively profitable store like Sarah here. No inventory, no investments, no risk. Sounds pretty awesome, right? So now the question you should be asking yourself is, how do you get people to buy from your store like the ring set example? Well, that's step 3, which is sending traffic to your store. And really, this is the most important piece of the puzzle. Too often people don't think this through. They make a beautiful store and fill it with amazing products, but they don't know how to get people going to their store, making sure sales are coming in hour after hour while they're sleeping or at the beach. Now, there are 2 types of traffic you can have purchase your product. There's borrowed traffic and there's paid traffic. So let's get started with borrowed traffic, which is my secret weapon that allows you to succeed super easily. This is just like having a machine that gives you $10 for every $1 you put into it. You would probably try to put as much money into it as possible. Borrowing traffic is essentially having other people sell your products for you by borrowing their audiences to sell your stuff. You pay nothing up front until a sale comes through. Then you share a small part of the profit of that sale with whoever promoted your product. There's literally no risk with this technique. And there are a lot of strategies and moving pieces with this, which I could make another day long live class on, but I'll show you one of the ways we can do this right now. Let's say you have a boho jewelry store. First, we want to find someone who's an influencer in our niche. So we need to find someone whose audience would be like our jewelry. And it's really simple. We do this by searching something like hashtag boho jewelry on Instagram, or even looking at competitors' followers. Then all we do is simply message them using my proven script that's generated an insane amount of money, and the script pretty much says, hey, I want to invite you to be an ambassador for our brand. If you post our products, we'll pay you for every single person who has purchased them. And that's it. It's really that simple and effective. And the reason everyone who uses my connected e-commerce model sees insane, steady profits is because you start out using borrowed traffic. You gain some profit. You prove that your store and product actually sells. Then, once you've proven your concept, then we start to use the second type of traffic I mentioned, which is paid traffic. Now, this is pretty simple. However, a lot of people overcomplicate it. Really, all we do is set up an account on Facebook to advertise, we target people who have similar interests to our niche, and we pay for ads to show up to them. So if we had a brand selling something like dog leashes, it would make sense for us to choose people who have an interest in things like Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, or a popular brand which sells natural and organic dog food. This is how we pay for traffic at a 50,000 foot view. There's a lot more specifics on how to get everything set up, but seriously, it's just as simple as pressing a couple buttons, but I don't want to bore you by showing you all of that. Catherine here reached the $100,000 per month milestone by following the system to a T. She started off using borrowed traffic, made around $3,000 per month, and these sales were with no ad spend, only using influencers and ambassadors to drive traffic. So she was making around $3,000 per month without spending a dime on ads. Sounds great, right? Who wouldn't want to make an extra $3,000 per month without needing to run paid ads? But remember, she ended up making way more than $3,000 per month. Because she started off with the borrowed traffic, she was able to prove her store, prove that people liked her brand and the products that she sold, and she was able to give her Facebook ad system a head start. With all these advantages, she pushed into paid ads and she immediately scaled her store from $3,000 per month to $100,000 per month, literally within 2 months. 2 freaking months. It's really incredible how much is possible when you actually take action and follow a proven process. Which brings me to my next question. Do you think that you could succeed if you had a pre-built professional storefront that was ready to take orders so that you don't have to learn anything technical? You had proven winning products that are already selling so that you don't have to risk money on testing unproven products. You had suppliers who are willing to let you pay them only after you've made a sale so that you can avoid spending thousands of dollars up front on risky inventory, and free traffic full of people ready to buy your products from your online store so you don't have to burn money testing advertising, which is what everyone else recommends. Well, of course you could, because if you could build a trustworthy store in a few clicks, if you had a list of proven winning products to sell, if you had reliable suppliers who you paid only after you made sales, and if you had a method of getting customers to your store for free, what would stop you two from making money like everybody else you've seen here today? Well, not a damn thing. Now, at this point, you've gathered a lot of information, but I want to be clear with you. I was in your shoes before, and I want to see you use this information to build your dream life, just like I did and all the other women you've been seeing in this training. But what I don't want you to do is I don't want to see you just use this training as just another video, focusing on information instead of transformation, saying things like, maybe next year, or if she can do it, that's cool, but I can't do it. Because the reality is, if you really want to be your own boss, have the freedom to enjoy your life on your own terms, have the ability to support your friends and family, and wake up every single day knowing you're working on something meaningful and exciting, well then you have 2 options. You can either say, you know what, Courtney, thank you for this information, but I'm going to just pretend I didn't see what I just saw. I didn't see how easy it is to start my own profitable online store like the thousands of ladies you've already helped. I'm just going to pretend this never happened and go about my life like before, which is what most women watching will do since it's the easy and comfortable option, and I don't blame you. Or you can follow your intuition that led you this far. You can choose yourself and your future for once instead of putting everyone else first. You can finally achieve your full potential that you know has been smothered by the world around you, and you can break free. If this sounds like you, we are in a small minority of women who I know I can help be my next success story. Just like Adriana here, who had her first $1,000 month, Jen, who had her first $10,000 month, and Chelsea, who has done over $3.5 million in sales. And because I would much rather see you succeed than fail, I've set aside some time in the next 48 hours to speak with you personally about how you can apply these ideas starting today. So whatever your challenges are right now, whether it's simply getting started, finding winning products, or consistently getting paying customers, I've really just seen it all before and will help you get past it and finally start profiting. Whether your goals are $4,000 a month like Nick, or over $100,000 a month like Chelsea here, I'll show you how to get there. But you might be wondering, like, Courtney, why are you doing this? Well, to be honest, I've achieved it all financially. And after a certain point, more money doesn't really do much. And if I'm being honest, I've gotten more fulfillment from working with the women you've seen in this video than I did from my businesses. And that's saying a lot because I love e-commerce. I realize now it's time for me to send the elevator back down and empower women by being the mentor I've never had. I always heard men say it's lonely at the top, but honestly, it's even lonelier for women. Here's a photo of the top CEOs in the country with President Obama from companies like Apple, Nike, Motorola, and in this entire room, there are only 2 women. That's it. Whether we want to believe it or not, us women to this day have not been given a fair shake in this world. Men hold the highest political positions and make all the rules. Men hold the highest position in businesses and make all the wealth. Men get paid more than women and make all the money. You haven't been given the same opportunities as men, and I want to change that. This is your opportunity to finally have a fair shot as a woman to create the life you truly want. Now, with that being said, I do have to go over who this is for and who this is not for. So this is for the serious, ambitious woman who understands that making more in net income than 1% of the total population is not going to be a complete walk in the park. Even though e-commerce is the easiest and least risky business model, you still have to do the work. This is not for a woman who wants results without doing any work. If you're looking for a program that promises $1 million without having to lift a finger, then you're in the wrong place. Now, this is for the woman who already has some source of income and is willing to invest in herself. This is not free. You do need to have skin in the game. You see, if I'm going to invest tons of time and energy into making you successful, well, if you aren't willing to take a bet on yourself, well, then why should I? So this is not for the woman who has no savings, no finances, no credit, or a job. So many women come to me on their very last dollar expecting a miracle. And while that definitely can happen, I always tell my students that building a boutique on your last dollar is the last thing you want to do. It is so stressful. You really want to build your online boutique on the side while having some savings or another stream of income. And then once your boutique is making more than your current job, then you can transition into a full-time entrepreneur, become your own boss if that's what you want. Next, this is for the woman who is coachable, committed, and hungry to learn. I can give you all the secrets, the cheat codes, the unfair advantages, but if you're not willing to be a student and accept this information, well, nothing is going to change. I need women who are going to trust in the process that has worked for literally thousands of women. And trust me, you're going to see amazing results. And this is not for the woman who thinks they know it all and are going to question every little thing along their journey. If you're the 0.0001% of women watching this video and already making tens of millions of dollars, well then you probably don't need my help. But if you aren't yet there, I'm happy to teach you everything you need to know. Next, this is for motivated action takers who don't get caught up in the excuses. So right now, whether you're thinking, holy shit, this is amazing, I can't wait to get started and find success, or you're thinking, this is impossible, this is too good to be true, I can't do this, either way, you're right. And what I mean by that is that you get what you expect out of life. And if you're excited and motivated to jump on this opportunity, well, I'd love to make that a reality. And if you're already thinking about all the ways this can't work, well, that's also going to become your reality, and I really can't help you. Next, this is for women who are independent and want to make their own decisions. Someone who wants to take control of their life and chart their own course without needing to rely on somebody else. This is not for a woman who cannot make decisions for themselves. I've seen a huge difference in success between women who can think and act on their own versus women who constantly need outside permission or validation to do anything. If you're a woman who needs to run every little thing by their family, their friends, or their husband, then this is not really going to be a great fit for you. Look, my goal is for you to have the skills and the confidence to become successful, and that comes from making your own decisions, thinking for yourself, and really doing what you want to do. And most importantly, I'm looking for women who have morals, have high standards and integrity. I want to work with women who truly have a good heart and soul. I joke around and say you must not use these new powers for evil, but I'm serious. When you create a store and you learn these skills, you will have thousands of paying customers who need to be treated well. The last thing I want for you is to pocket hundreds or thousands of dollars and just ignore your customers. So what to do next? Right now, it's October in 2023, and I only run this video when I'm looking for 10 to 20 ambitious women who want to make a serious income with their online store, which means there's a good chance that if you want to come back to this page in this video and the opportunity, it might not be there and it might be gone for good. So I want to emphasize, I'm only looking for women who, 1, I am 100% certain I can help, and 2, will actually show up and do the work. So if that's you, a button should have appeared below this video. And what I want you to do right now is click the button below to schedule a free strategy session. The page should look something like this, so make sure you select a time that works for you. And on this call, we'll first talk to you about your goals, how much money you'd like to make, what you want to do with all that money, and how this would ultimately change your life. And then we'll craft a customized game plan on how to implement my strategy and create your first online store. The reason we have this call is because everyone's journey is different, and depending on where you're starting from and what your goals are, we need to really break it down. Now, most of you have probably exited this page and booked a call by now, but if you're still on here and you're still on the fence, I highly recommend booking that call. Because worst case, the call is free, and even if I can't help you, I'll tell you exactly what I would do if I was in your situation to achieve your desired goal. And basically, you'll get free insight from someone who's making over $1 million a year. And the best case is we can 100% help you. We'll send you a private invite to my mentorship program and work with you until you see results. So basically, there's no risk to booking a call. In fact, the only risk you have is losing out on the potential to completely change your life because you didn't want to take that first step. Like, imagine if Sarah here just never got on that call. She's earning $100,000 per month. She's been able to quit her corporate job. She's been able to retire her parents, travel, become her own boss. She truly lives life on her own terms, all because she decided to take action and schedule that call. And can you imagine if she hadn't did that? 30 minutes changed her entire life. And I remember that call. She was a little bit nervous, but she was tired of doing the same thing and not seeing any results. She was tired of her boss telling her when she could go on break, when she could go on vacation. She was tired of never having enough money at the end of the month. And she realized that if she didn't do something, nothing was going to change. So she pushed through, feeling a little bit nervous, feeling uncomfortable. She went for it, and looking back, she always says that 30-minute phone call completely changed her life. Now, our time here is almost up, and I've given you all I could in this short amount of time. And if you still haven't booked a call, I have a question for you. Was there a reason that you watched this video up until this point? Maybe when you saw all the student success stories that I was showing you and thought, maybe that could be me. Maybe I can do that. And the question in your head may be, well, can I do it though? Well, the best way for me to answer that is to let my student results speak for themselves. The button will be down below for a little bit longer before the timer hits 0. I'm going to sign off for now, but enjoy all the crazy results you're about to see from some of my students. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Bye for now.